Alright, this is Traumatic Static, most underground podcast in the nation, and today we have the one and only Bakersfield thrash metal band, Bombscare. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves?
What's up, guys? I'm Pat. I do bass and vocals.
Fernando, I play drums.
Tom, lead guitar.
Alright, why don't we go ahead and start off with the formation of Bombscare?
Okay, well, this is a project me and my brother Tom came up with, I'd say, late 2013, you know? Like I was telling you just a minute ago, like, this is something we always wanted to do as kids, you know what I mean? Like, we grew up, like, total fucking Metallica, Maiden type kids, you know what I mean? And just, like, wanted to play some fucking thrash metal, you know what I mean? And, you know, we had a lot of different projects growing up, you know, and, you know, this is something that just kind of came up, like, hey, like, let's actually do this, you know what I mean? And from there, like, we just fucking started writing and putting it together, you know? I'd say the hardest thing would be actually finding a drummer, you know, that took us years. I mean, I asked and asked and asked everybody, and, you know, nobody was down, or they didn't have gear, they didn't think they could hack it, you know. You know, we had a guy who, you know, was around for a little bit, you know, and he wasn't able to do it anymore. You know, we had another guy that didn't wind up working out. Now we have Fernando, you know, and he's been around for a little over a month now. He's still learning the stuff, and he's absolutely killing it, you know, and in a nutshell, that's pretty much where we're at with it right now.
All right. Well, we go ahead and go into your individual stories. What was your first introduction to just metal and thrash in general?
You know, like, you're a little kid, you know, and you hear music and you think you like it or whatever, you know, it's because what everyone else is listening to, you know, like, think of, like, grade school, you know what I mean? Like, your friends are playing music and you're listening to whatever, but, like, I remember being like, fuck, dude, like 9 or 10, and like I heard Metallica for the first time, and like all fucking bets were off for me, you know what I mean? Like, that was my shit. And that's like, it just kind of went from there, you know what I mean? For me, at least.
All right. Now, Tom, what was your first introduction to metal?
I just remember, like, as a little kid, you know, getting picked up from school. Our dad would always have, like, you know, crowd radio on to the Fox, and, you know, listening to, like, George Thorogood, AC/DC, and shit like that. Like, I loved it as a little kid, like, all about that. And, you know, through the years, just, like, kind of listening to more and more through the radio, watching on TV and whatnot, and, you know, started getting more into, like, just metal, like, by 6th grade, like, just being all about Iron Maiden.
In the mid-90s, the radio still actually played metal.
Yeah,
music,
right?
So.
It's cool.
All right,
Good thing about the 90s.
All right, Fernando, what was your first introduction to metal?
Well, both my parents, I mean, mother was a punker, dad was a thrasher. I had a family of musicians, all metalheads. I mean, first time I ever really fell in love with metal, though, it would have to be like with Metallica, Slayer, and stuff like that. I mean, my parents would wake up and start cleaning to that shit, so it was pretty fucking, yeah, I was born into it.
All right, so now going from your childhood and finding out what metal is, how would you compare it to now being a part of the underground music scene as it is now?
What do you mean, like the state of metal right now, or?
Kind of, and did you expect it to be like how it is now? Like, did you expect it to be like this vast growing up?
I mean, compared to then and now, you know, I was just a little kid listening to what I listened to, so like I really guess at the time didn't put too much thought into it now, but I mean, looking at today, it's really all over the place, you know. I mean, there's so many different genres, you know. It's just really, there's so much to it now. It's honestly kind of hard to keep up with because there's always something new out there, you know what I mean? But, you know, say 5 years ago, I would have really studied, you know what I mean? Like, really, like, looked at all these different things, but I'm at the point where, for me personally at least, I really just kind of keep it to thrash, because when I listen to music, it's like a studying thing. Like, I just sit there and listen to every single band I've never heard of, like, and see what I could take away from it for my own writing, regardless if I like it or not. It's kind of like, okay, I should do this, or I shouldn't do this. So it's like, that's really where I keep it, because it's more of a studying type thing for me right now at this point. But, I mean, I do like different genres of music outside of metal, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. It's just like...
the main writing focus is just thrash.
Yeah, I mean, like, for the sake of this band, I just listen to every single fucking thrash band I possibly can, you know what I mean?
All right. Now, what about you guys? What is it?
He pretty much just hit the nail, you know, right on the head, you know.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Yeah.
All right. Now, how does the writing process go for Bombscare, and what are your like main themes focused around on?
Okay. It just really starts with like a riff for me or Tom. Like we'll just sit there and be like, "Hey, Jay, I came up with this," or I came up with that, and like sit there and play with it. You know what I mean? The whole record was written prior to Fernando entering the band, so most of the drums, more or less, were like written by us. You know what I mean? But he's like, he's throwing his flair into it, and that's like what I'm totally all about. It's not like, no, you can't do this, you have to do it our way type thing. But yeah, I mean, it really just starts like one riff at a time. I mean, I know a lot of bands like they sit there behind a computer and like put things together like that, and like we do it the old-fashioned way and just sit there and fucking sit in a room, crack some beers, and fucking write some riffs. You know what I mean? And that's how it comes together. As far as themes, like lyrically, I try to stay away from the cliches. Like I don't write about Satan. I don't write about killing people. Like it's about real life type themes. You know what I mean?
You don't want to portray something you're not a part of.
It's just like I want to be as genuine as I possibly can, and like I like to leave things up to interpretation. Like I might write about something that means one thing to me, but someone else could listen to it and they could take away from it what they will. You know what I mean? I feel like it makes it to where it really grabs the listener like in a more personal way. You know what I mean? Which I feel like is really important. Like the one I showed you, "Wash Out," for example. That song in particular is about like striving for mediocrity, like thinking just, doing something that, how do I explain it? Having a little bit of a brain fart here. Just doing something that, putting not your all into something, just half-assing it and expecting everything good to come out of it, you know what I mean? And sitting there wondering why you didn't get anything out of it, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing, like I guess the meaning of the song is, stop being a bitch, fucking give it your all, you know what I mean, type situation, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
put up or shut up, kind of.
Definitely. Now, during writing process, what are your like main influences or inspirations?
I can name off 1,000 different bands. I'd say the ones that have really like been huge on us, like, excuse me, some more obvious ones I'd say would be like Exodus or Overkill. I mean,
DRI.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like they're a little bit more on like the punk rock, type side of things, which is totally rad, but like, they definitely have the metal thing. Obviously, it's crossovers, so you get a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I absolutely love DRI. We actually have a song that's like really just fucking short and fast and in your face like that, you know what I mean? One thing I really take away from Overkill in particular would be like Bobby Blitz says in an interview, like it's the music's from the gut, you know what I mean? It's not like about being the most technical band on earth. It's just about writing good fucking old-fashioned heavy metal music, you know what I mean? Some other ones for me at least, I'd say like this band Four Stinch from Seattle has been fucking huge on me, you know what I mean? Like when you get a chance to hear our stuff, you'll notice there's a lot of tempo and time changes. Like, not that we're a progressive band per se, but like it's really like the songs are fucking roller coasters, you know what I mean? And that's one thing I really took from that band. Some different ones would be like Sacred Reich, Demolition Hammer. I can name off 1,000 bands, you know what I mean? Like, that's just me personally.
Yeah.
Like, again, I do the whole studying bits. Like, I really try to take a little bit away from everybody, you know?
Now, how about you when it comes to writing?
I don't know. I just come up with shit. It works out. I just kind of, I don't know what I can really say that he hasn't already said.
What does metal mean to you guys in general? Like, what do you guys take from it, and like, just what does it mean to you, like, in your heart?
It's a way of life, man. Like, I mean, I really live it and breathe it. Like, this band is everything I think about every single day, 24/7, you know? Like, it's not just a hobby to me. Like, it really just, like, it's my whole world, you know what I mean? Like, if I didn't have music, I'd probably be dead or in prison, you know what I mean? I'd go absolutely fucking batshit crazy, you know? Like, it definitely calms the storm, you know what I mean? Like, it's really therapeutic to me, especially being on stage, you know, like, I really get to just vent, you know what I mean? And it's a chance for me to, like, not be myself for a second, because, like, I'm a really quiet, introverted type guy. Like, I really like to be to myself, and, like, being a frontman, that's really crippling for me, you know? Like, it's really hard to, like, interact with people, especially strangers that I don't know. And so, like, it's kind of my chance to, like, not be myself for a few minutes, you know what I mean? So it's just, there's so much more to it than the music to me, you know?
What about you two? What does it mean to you guys?
Want to go first? Oh, you talk.
Metal, what does it mean to me? Well, I could just say, like what Pat said, it's like a way of life, man. You wake up, throw on some jams, man, and whatever mood you're in, you could always find it in metal. I mean, you could be in the worst mood ever, throw on some metal. You could be in the happiest mood ever, throw on some metal, and you'd be fucking alright. It's a way of life, I guess.
Definitely an escape. Like, you know, no matter how shitty the day, like, you can always use it to kind of just go somewhere else, or just kind of fit the mood and just kind of just be like, all right, like, fuck it, more or less, you know.
It expresses what the average person wouldn't express.
Yeah.
I feel like metal is a very, like, special thing, and, like, metalheads, for example, like, they really do live it and breathe it, you know? Like, someone might listen to hip-hop or, like, just your average rock or whatever, and they listen to it, but it's like they go on about their lives, like, in other ways, you know? But, like, I feel like metalheads in particular, it's something that's really special to them, you know what I mean? So it's just, like, there's something just really different about.
I've noticed that with a lot of metalheads I've interacted with, they don't take it just with a grain of sand, like, yeah, I listen to metal. No, they take it to heart. Like, it's something deep and personal to them.
I feel like that's why there's so many different arguments about it, too, because it's something that's so special to them, and they feel like the rest of the world is totally feel that way, too, you know what I mean? And that's why there's so many arguments at the same time, you know, about, like, genres and subgenres. And
like, you got metal elitists out there, which you have in, like, almost any subculture.
Well, I mean, I'm going to play the devil's advocate here and say I feel like elitist really is a bad word, you know? I mean, I feel like I feel like that's something somebody would say when they don't have a valid argument to back up their claim, you know what I mean? From saying, like, day fucking one with metal, there's always been different things going on in the metal. You know, it's never just, I mean, unless you're, like, looking at the really early days of, like, Sabbath and Motorhead, when there was only so much, you know what I mean? Like, you hit the 80s and it really starts branching off into these different things, you know? And again, people care about what they love so much that they really cling to it, and, you know, fuck you for not liking this type thing, you know? And I think that's what keeps metal vibrant in a way, you know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't for all these different things, you know, people wouldn't be doing different things. And so, like, I think it's a good thing that there is division in a sense, you know what I mean? That's what really keeps it different, especially, you know what I mean? Like,
but along with division should come unity too.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's no reason to be a total cocksucker about it, you know, but everyone has a right to their opinion, you know, like, say, like, the black metal kids aren't going to like certain shit, the thrashers aren't going to like certain shit, you know, the deathcore kids aren't going to like certain shit, and that just is what it is, you know. If someone doesn't like your band, you know, cool, dude, that's your fucking opinion. Like, I'm not going to call somebody to elitist because they don't like us, you know what I mean? Like, it's your fucking opinion, dude, and that's rad, you know? Like, listen to your shit. That's what it's all about, you know? Just fucking, you know?
Yeah, totally. Now, in all your guys' opinion, what do you think has been the biggest accomplishment for Bombscare so far?
We've had a lot of setbacks, dude, whether it be, like, lineup changes or, you know, fan breaking down on the way to LA, or fucking, you know, there's always been something some kind of battle we've had to fight. Just the fact that we've, like, not gone absolutely batshit crazy trying to do this and kept the ball rolling, you know, I'd say is probably our biggest accomplishment. You know, like, realistically, we haven't done too much yet. Like, we've only played a handful of shows. We don't have any music that's formally out yet, you know. You know, we're in the process of tracking right now. Bass is done. He's doing guitars right now, and we'll move on from there, you know. There's just been, God, man, so many fucking reasons to stop, you know what I mean? But we can't not do this. So I'd say as of so far, that's our biggest accomplishment, is keeping things actually going,
Now, on the lines of new material, what can we expect to hear from you guys within the upcoming months?
Months, I'm not quite sure yet. It just depends on how tracking goes. Find out's the thing. We're doing it completely on our own. We're not making a GoFundMe. You know what I mean? We don't do any of that shit. We don't believe in that. It's totally out of our pockets. Once tracking's done, we're gonna get it. Probably mixed with the same guy we're tracking. But we're looking at getting mastered elsewhere by professionals, so we can give out the best quality music. In this day and age, you can't afford to put out something that's, subpar. You have to give out the best quality music to even have a fighting chance. And so we'll do that, we're looking at shooting a music video, getting physical copies done, the whole nine, you know what I mean? Just doing it the right way. It's going to be a process. I can't say exactly when it's going to be done, but, as soon as we know, you guys will know, so.
Definitely. Yeah. Now, either as a band or as individuals, where do you guys see yourselves in about 10 years?
Hopefully still doing this, I'm a lifer, music's all I really want to do. I don't really care about money or anything like that. And the way the world's going, it's like, who knows if we're going to be here 5 or 10 years from now, as it fucking is anyway. So it's like, I'd rather just opt out from what society expects you to do and just play music and keep my head right, So I mean, I want to do Bombscare, I mean, I'm the kind of person when I start a band, I think of longevity. I just don't want to do something really quick and call it quits, So I mean, if I had it my way, I'd be doing this till I'm an old fucking man.
Yeah, there's no point in investing, time, blood, sweat, and tears into something if you're not going to see it through. What's the point of investing, a bunch of money into anything, whether it be cars, whatever shit you do, and just to, throw it away. So, hopefully, 10 years, I'd like to see myself doing this.
And that's another thing I really like about Fernando, every other person I've worked with, I've always had it in the back of my mind, where's this guy going to be 6 months from now? Is he still going to be about this, or is he going to walk, or what's going to happen? He's the first guy we've brought into the picture where I haven't exactly had that feeling, I mean, Tom and me are brothers, you know what I mean? So it's we don't have to really worry about each other, but we're just a three-piece. We like to keep it simple, not bring too many heads into it, you know what I mean? I really like the setup, and again, with him, it's I don't feel like I have to worry about where he's going to be a few months down the road. I think he's really genuinely about it, and that's it's more the reason we just push and push and push and make this damn thing happen already,
I totally feel that. All right, we're going to get into some individual questions, and then we're going to wrap this up.
Great.
All right, for Pat, would you fuck a turtle?
I don't know if I fit in a turtle. I might kill it. I might just fucking rip it and it die, and that'd be really sad. I don't want to kill turtles with my dick. That's just really bothersome.
Not turtley enough for the turtle club,
It's upsetting. I don't know.
All right, Tom, would you ever perform sexual intercourse during a live Bombscare set?
Oh, fuck yeah. That's pretty fucking, what's more brutal and metal than that? Just railing a chick on the stage.
We'll do
it'd be like a Mentors show.
We'll do that's what I was going to say. We're going to do a Mentors cover while we're doing it.
That's badass.
Gotta find her, feel her, fuck her, forget her.
All right, Fernando, have you ever had a favorite pair of underwear and lost it?
Fuck yeah, I have. I had a pair of Batman undies, didn't necessarily lose them. I just had a fucking hole in them. I was really upset about that because those were my favorite underwears.
All right, we got another question for Pat. Now, for those of you who don't know, Pat used to be the bassist for Deserters. Now, what was the most embarrassing thing that had ever happened during a Deserters performance?
That's a tough one because we didn't have too many problems. I'm going to have to really think about that. I'd say there's only one time ever we had a genuine issue. We had a slip in the drums, and I wound up playing a few notes wrong. There's just this one song we all had a really hard time with, and there's just this one night. I want to say it was somewhere in Tennessee. I can't exactly remember, but like the song just totally botched. Like we made it through it, you know, but there were some like kind of heavy slips in it, you know. Like we never had to stop a song and start over, you know what I mean? But it was just like there's this one time that really.
I've seen you guys at least once or twice, and it was perfect.
No, our live performance is honestly really fluid. I could really count the times on one hand there was like really any actual problems, you know. But like that one time, I think really sticks out to me, like where we had like some serious issues. But even at that, like we totally got through it. The kids loved it, you know what I mean, and life went on for us, you know what I mean. Really nothing crazy as far as on stage, you know.
All right, Tom. Ass man or tits man?
Oh man. Oh man, it depends on the day.
Don't want smash your titties on.
Yeah, it's just like what's more important today?
All right, we get one more. Fernando.
Yeah.
Would you ever have your asshole stretched?
Interesting. In what sense?
What?
Like with the gauge. Like, would you ever have it stretched? I'm assuming that's what they meant.
I'm a body piercer, and I think that's physically possible. I don't know. I haven't heard of that
Like
one.
with the gauge, huh? I'll have to pass on that, man. Yeah, I wouldn't.
That might make pooping kind of
You could
complicated.
like cut perfect cylindrical shit. It
Yeah,
wouldn't be
dude.
like
I mean, that would be
it wouldn't be
badass.
lumpy.
I mean,
It would just
if
be
that was
like
the case-
Play-Doh squeezed. You know what I mean? It's funny.
I don't think I would let alone pierce an asshole, let alone try to gauge it out as a professional. I would probably recommend against that for your own health and safety.
and if I ever did, I mean, I would use that as an act on stage.
Totally, yeah.
Okay, dude.
We get some Bombscare gauges we can put in our booty hole. We'd be like,
Hell yeah, dude.
Turn into a gar set really quick.
Oh yeah, dude.
fuck yeah.
All right, well, I think that's about all the time we have and all the questions that we needed to cover. This has been Dramatic Static, and like I said, most underground podcast in the nation. This has been Bombscare.
Peace.